Morning, everyone. Sorry to be a couple minutes late. I was just playing away. You know how I do. As always, thank you for shopping with me right here. Make sure it says Jackie Bloom at the top. You are shopping with Jackie Bloom. And today we are talking about the gnomes. And I'm just waiting for the computer to get caught up. Oh, of course, it wants me to log in. Hold on. All right. Now I gotta get rid of all these things that it's popping up on me. I'm so sorry. It's been one of those days, right? Thank goodness it's Friday. That's all I can say. And there I am. Good, good, good. All right. Looking good. So we are talking about the gnomes paper. And this is what I have left. Let me see. I believe it's the 3 sheets that I can show you. So, really cool gnomes, just a few scattered here and there, but if you don't like gnomes, it's okay, because there's just your plain paper. And this is the only sheet that has gnomes. And if you get the sticker sheet, there's only like 2 that have gnomes. And then you have this really pretty Christmas snowflakes, and then a nice plaid, very neutral. And the last sheet, you get 2 of each, but I've already, cut up to use, is this nice word palette, and then lovely stripes. Can't go wrong with the stripes. So that is the paper, 2 of each. There's the scraps that I have left from just using the 3 sheets. Now this card kit makes 16 cards, 2 of each. Get that out of the way. And what I do is I go through, show you this, and I just cut out, I put little numbers, and I just cut out, right here it tells you all the things that you need. And this is from a consultant. I'm not sure which one. If you're out there, give a shout out. I did it. And she's got very good instructions. I would keep in mind that when you look at this and you make your first cut here, up and down, it's 5 1/4 for this piece, but there's these 2 little pieces, which are 1/4 and then 5/8. So if you just go ahead and do to there, then you can cut these down and have those other pieces. So just watch your instructions, because sometimes they can be a little bit, I always say, double check and cut once and not mess up. And this is your cardstock. She also tells you on your zip strips where to cut those, and then how to prep your other pieces. Very nice words, or very nice diagrams and stuff. Then she tells you what to prep all together, and then she starts into card 1. So that is the instructions, which we may go back to in a minute. This is the awesome little gnome guy. Now you can buy these all separately, and what I wanted to show you is that the gnome guy will fit on a A2 size card, standard 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'll just see if I can get him out without having to pull the whole thing out. Bear with me. I just trimmed my nails down, and so now I can't do anything. It's proving to be quite a bit of a task. Okay, leave his nose in there. So here is his body, and he will skate along if you want to do the whole page with him. Okay, I'll have more coming up with him, because I haven't had a chance since I just got this to play with him much, and he'd be great on a scrapbook page. Okay, if you're interested in this number, this is a special as long as it lasts. CC72328, a little bit bigger number on that as well. If you want the paper packet, it's CC72311. Okay, and there's 2 stamp sets that go with this. This first one is just words, no thin cuts. This is gnomes for winter. Now we had gnomes for autumn, and now we have gnomes for winter. There's going to be 4. So I'm thinking spring and summer are coming. And this one is CC72324. This is the card making. And then there is another set of stamps and thin cuts. Remember, the blue is your thin cuts. And this one is CC 72320. So this also goes, this cute little snowman is on the paper. I don't know if I can find him quickly. Probably not, because I want to go looking for him. I'm not going to find him. Oh, there he is. Isn't he just the cutest? He's so cute. So there's lots of bits and pieces. You can buy it separately. You can buy it in a bundle. Again, this is what I do. I just put out my numbers, start cutting, and pile them all up. So I'm going to pile these up out of the way for now. Don't want to mix them up. Too much stuff on my table. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is what they look like when you make them just as they are. And then remember that this is only a jumping off point. It's just to get you started. You don't have to do them exactly like that. Keep in mind that when they work on projects for us, they're given this much paper, this much cardstock, this much accessories, this much stamps. And that's all they can use. So if you think, oh, instead of that brown, I'd rather have blue. That would make my pictures pop. Change it. Okay? So just think of it that way. So here we go. Here's the first one, as is. And I think, let me see, I think I might have made, no, I think I did it just as. Sorry, I'm trying to leaf through all this paperwork and get up to where card number 1 is. Yes, right here. Okay. So I have a little tip because this opens up and your circly bits are inside, okay? And if you read the instructions, they tell you to put this base on to the card, open it up, and put a 3-inch circle. So you would put it through your cutting machine like this and cut that circle out, okay? And then on your cutting mat, you're supposed to tack down all of these bits with a piece of removable tape and cut those out. But here's a little trick. There's a couple ways you can do it. One, you can get yourself a circle, and this one's already been used, so it's not a circle, a 3-inch circle of our low tack masking tape, okay? And you can put all of your, I should have grabbed me some pieces, hold on. Then you can put some glue, or no, you put those onto here. So say this is my circle, and you would just keep loading up your pieces. We're just gonna make believe now. And there's a little bit of a gap in between. And we're just gonna load those up. Just pretend that those are colored pieces, okay? And then you're gonna take it over and you're going to cut that, and I'm probably off camera, aren't I? Cut all of that out, okay? Now, important, when you get that cut out, leave it on this backing, because then you can tape all of this down and put it, so you've got it taped down. It's already cut, so it's this size. Put your adhesive on, and then you can just stick it right in here and go straight through to the back, okay? That's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it, which I just added to it a little bit, so I went and cut out a piece of vellum, okay? Then I could totally glue my pieces on to this piece of vellum, because you need something clear at the top and clear at the bottom. Okay, so you can totally glue those on. And the other thing that you can do is you can lay them down. Let's see, how would you do that? Just trying to think how you could glue it a little easier. Can't do it that way. What I would do, and I think what I did, was I just put my piece on here. Here, I'll do it with this one so you can see it better. It's thinner, but it's better. And I just put a little glue here, and then I glued in the middle. So I just marked where my ends were, so that way they could get down, glued down really good. So again, you would just totally glue them onto here. If you want to take it back and cut it out, you can, or you can just snip it off around. So now you've got all these pieces glued on to here, and you just put some glue, turn it over, put some glue behind on the other side, not where the vellum shows through, and simply put it through there and glue it down. Now, if you look, you can see that I've got vellum right there, but you don't really see it, okay? That's just a little bit easier way of doing it if the little pieces get to be too much, okay? All right, so that's tip number 1. Masking tape or vellum. I guess you could even do the green cardstock if you wanted little strips of green showing through the background. That would work too. Okay, so that's the standard card. Get this out of the way. Oop, got a little glue on my surface. Get rid of that. All right, so that's how the first one's supposed to look. And what I did to change it up was I wanted Merry Christmas. Oh, and I have one more tip for this too. The little journaling lines. Okay. Again, I know it's a little piece, I'm sorry. But when you do your lines, figure out what is most comfortable. Now, the first thing I'm going to tell you is if you can watch where you're going, it's going to be easier. So either come at you like this or go up. For me, it's easier to come down, and what I do is I go up and over it. So I'm going to do it here in the middle so you can see, you know, I make a big long line. So I go up and over it, so that way the thin line that it first makes gets covered up with a little bit more, if that makes sense. So it just makes it so if you curved it a little bit, you can straighten it out. And it makes sure that compared to just doing it one time, that's a little bit brighter on this dark green. So it's just going over it, but you need to kind of do it when you first do it, because it's still all wet, so that way it dries. Because sometimes if you try and go back over it, like there's a little bit of lineage here, you can see it's quite a bit harder to get it covered over because it just kind of takes it away. So do it all at once, just up and back, whichever way works best for you, okay? And follow it around. Make sure you can see where you're going. That is helpful. Okay, so there's card number 1. And the Merry Christmas was 2 words, so I just put Merry down and then Christmas down. And then what I did on this one is I just went halfway. So I kind of judged between here and here. Let me show you up close. So you can see it's about halfway on the words. And I just kind of took it around, and then I took this one around. This was nice because that little dot gave me a reference point of where to head towards, if you will. And then, yeah. And it's not going to be perfect. Mine's not perfect either, but that's okay. Oh, and it says to use your white embossing ink with some water and splatter it on there. I chose, since I had it, to use this white spray glossy spray. And you got to shake it up really good. I just took it and with it, you know, the little piece that, let me try and do this without making a mess. There's that little piece like that. I just take it off and put that little piece over my, over my project and just tap, tap, tap. And that works just fine if you don't want to spray it, because when you spray it kind of doesn't give you these nice chunky bits as much. Okay, so there's card number 1. Card number 2, I didn't get all of these done. That's why I'm late. Card number 2 looks like this. And here is the exact replica. Okay. And then what I changed. I didn't really want that border there. I wanted it a little bit prettier. So I introduced some Seabrook shimmer paper. I just used my hole punch, 1/4 inch hole punch, just, you know, standard office stuff, and punched the holes, and then a little bit of trim on there. That's the only changes that I made to this card, and I didn't do the little dots. dashes around, okay? And I even added one there, and this one I put a little foam tape on because it's just a flat dot. So I put a little foam tape to mimic more of a gem. Okay, so there's card number 2. Card number 3 is this one. Move my papers around. Again, I splattered with the white paint on there and there. A lot of that. So I have a little trick for this. This one, white one is raised up, but you've got to get those lines on there. So if you press it down, if you don't put it clear out to the edge, you can press it down and kind of see where you're going again and put those little dashes on. These, I use the little baby, hopefully you can see these, baby, sticking to my fingers, baby glue dots, and I just tapped them onto there like this. Grab a pretty, okay, so find where the glue dot is, tacked it onto there. Now be very careful with these, they do break. I broke my first one. Because they're so nice and thin, they break. And then I use my pokey tool to get it off very gently. And then you can turn it over, and if you want it to not be showing, you can just pull it into the middle, like so. And if you don't know where you want to put it yet, just put it right back on there. It's the holding spot. That's what we're calling it, the holding spot. Okay? Oop. Now I'm getting sticky all over me. All right, so there's another tip for you. Get the sticky off. Oh, the other thing is I put my little pieces, here's how they come. Here's what they look like. But be careful with them because they are really nice and flat and thin. And I just put them into something that I can get at better than the baggie they come with. And these are CC 72332. Okay. So there's your standard. And I kind of looked at my papers to make sure that she was visible. And here is my change. Again, I added some Seabrook glitter paper. Oh, if you'd like to know what that number is, it's Z4611 Seabrook. So I obviously just cut out the circle and hole punch again, and then I just reoriented it because I wanted to make sure this guy was showing. Just because it says put it here, you can put it anywhere you want. You could change it up and put it this way if you wanted. Okay, so there's the next one. Now onwards and upwards. Let's see, the next one looks like this. Okay, this is cool because in the instructions, I'm not looking at the right one. Let's see, let me find those instructions. Okay, so I'm going back to the beginning of the instructions. And right down here, it tells you this is a full circle, okay? 3-inch circle. And right here, it tells you that you put those two pieces together, layer those two, and then cut it off, starting at the top and going down 1 7/8, and that just gives you the size you need. Okay, again, the dots and dashes I put on afterwards, so just be careful. I kind of turn it this way again so I can see where I'm going. Did the glue dots under there. All right, what did I change it to? Oh, I love this one. This one I went and got, let me get my stamps, because I did use some different words. I should probably go back and show you those. Okay. The Merry Christmas is, where's the Merry Christmas? Merry Christmas is from this set from last catalog, and it still might even be in the online. Here's the Merry and here's the Christmas. You can see they're just slightly curved. If you're interested in this one, it is D2185. And that's where I got this Merry Christmas that curves. Okay. And the other two stamp sets that I used are current. This one is the card making Stampin' Thin Cut that goes with the card making one. So it's CM019. And I believe that one's coming back this month. And this one I used this really pretty bow for that one. Okay. And let's see, we have one more. Where is it? Oh, where'd it go? Hold on, I'm missing a card. Oh, it's the next one coming up. But I use this Friendships Never Melts Away. And this is Z7094. Again, these are your thin cuts pieces. Okay, that's current. So is the last one. And this is just a smaller hole punch. This is a 1/4 inch. This is like 1/8 of an inch. I'll show you that up close. And then I just did a strip of it and did a pennant. So you can see I just took the pieces that were there, and I took this piece off. I didn't even put that piece on. It had stripes. I don't even know where it went now. Oh, here it is. So it was that on one side and stripes on the other, but I wanted that little snowman to show, and I wanted that gnome to show. So I just didn't use that piece. That's okay. All right. And the next one. Next one is like this. Again, I already kind of altered this one. This one was supposed to say again, you are truly one of a kind, right here, but I didn't. Nope, not that. Boy, keep up. Okay, this one. Yes, that matches. You are truly kind is still what it wanted to be, but I wanted to add something else, so I did. Now this one is clever because what they tell you to do is I figured out where I wanted this circle to be, right? And then I took this strip and laid it onto here so it measured right here, and I glued it across so it's just one piece on that little, let me see. So imagine this is the bigger piece and this is this piece. So I just figured out where I wanted it, and I had glue all on here, and I put it to there, and then I just curve cut on both of these, and I went back and I automatically put this one down. This one already has this on here, so then I just lined it up, and then I put this other side on. So this is actually cut right here and right here, but you really wouldn't know it. You have to look really good. And I thought that was a great way to do that. Okay. Now, there are still 1, 2, 3 more cards I haven't gotten to, but I will. Those will be the bonus ones. But what I wanted to show you is I haven't completed this one, and I thought we would kind of do this together and figure out and show you kind of how my brain works. So, the first thing I wanted to show you is that instead of that way, I don't know where my other snowflake went, you can turn it vertically, so you don't have to do that, right? You can also, if you don't like the patterns, turn them over. Maybe you want it that way, maybe you want it that way. I probably wouldn't do that. That would be cute. That's not bad, I like that. Now, the other thing is I always tell you to dry fit stuff if you're here with me on a class. And what I would do is I would do this. I'm just dry fitting. So that way I know there's going to be a gap here. So I would glue this one down, glue this one down. Still haven't decided if this is what I'm doing. That's why I haven't glued it. And then I would glue this one. So I also have a tip for you on gluing these little bits. If you have a couple of them, or even if you have a 1/2 inch little zip strip like this is, put them together with your little pieces, right? And take your glue and that just makes it so much easier to glue those pieces. Now say it wasn't long enough, just move it down. Doesn't matter if the other one gets a little more glue on it, right? And this is, of course, more awkward because it's sticky now. And just continue putting your glue on. So now I'm going to stick that one over there. So now we have glue on this one. So we'll put that one up there. Yay, yes. And I decided to do some different words. I went, which one did I go to? I went back to this one, which was last catalog. Joy to the World fit in this little banner. But I figured, you know, on the little curve, it might look nice. So all I did was I just dry fit again. Dry fit, dry fit, dry fit. I just set this down here. And then I put my, I'll show you. So think of doing this both. So I set this one on here, and then I set the other one on there. And I'm gonna have to stand up, and hopefully my head doesn't get in the way. And put those together. So you can do those all at once. Season it, make sure it works. Let me get these out of the way. So I can do some stamping. And then you need it, I think I want to do the sapphire. So I always have some scratch paper. I always have my stuff picked up as much as I can. And I always just check to make sure it's okay. And that looks good. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this onto this line. So that way I know I'm straight. Again, I kind of messed that up. And it doesn't look straight to me, but it is. And we're going to stamp our words. There we go. Okay, there's that. All right. So I like that. What to do? Anybody have any thoughts on what they'd like to see me throw on this one? Just shout them out. I'll try and see if I can see them. Let's see, I also had, probably can't hear me because I'm a mile away. I also brought out the pine, so maybe the pine would be pretty. So what if we added some of that? That's pretty. We could even put it on like here. So, let me get a trimmer. And I love this kind of trimmer because you can cut really thin pieces. And I think I'm gonna do like 3/4 of an inch. I like that that holds that down really nice. So we got 1/4 and we got 3/4. Let's get that out of the way. And that might still be a little big. What do you think? Oop. It's the only problem with sticking that. And I'm just gonna lightly lay that down so we can get a, what do you think? Okay, kind of like that, but I'm thinking maybe I'll put those two down and I'll just do some pennants, some little pieces, okay? I also have an idea for this. Sapphire. So, I thought I would do that where I drag it around the edge of here and add some color, but now that I picked up sapphire, I think I'll go to the green, which is pine. I've got my pine. Remember, you've got to shake until you hear that because that's distributing all of that glitter. So that way your piece is sparkly. And I'm just going to drag it around. It's pretty foolproof if you do it this side of the circle or whatever you're going around. Okay. And I only have to go halfway. See how I went off on the back because of having it on there? That's kind of cool because I would have to cut out a circle out of something else. All right, so I'm gonna leave that dangerously open for a minute. Oh geez, see what I mean? Ooh, I got lucky on that one. Okay, do as you say. Close it up. All right, so let's put some adhesive onto here so that way we can go around. Now, again, this is where I told you, lining it up straight. So that way your words look straight, and sometimes I have to pick it up and look at it. I never put anything down super hard, so that way I can go back and see, and I'm just having a heck of a time today. Oh my goodness. All right, so that's fairly straight. I think I accidentally turned this one over, but that's okay. All right, so there we go. So now, again, I'm gonna shake it just to make sure we get all that glitter going. And let's add a little bit of green to the bottom of here. Okay. And let's get some scissors. And what I'm thinking is I thought I might just have like some pennants poking out on top of there. Okay, so that'll work. So let's get our pieces glued. I think I'm going to do it this way. So again, make sure I'm on camera. We know there's going to be a gap in the middle, so up and down, get everything nice and straight. I'm just barely setting that on there, so that way I can check with this one. That's pretty good. So now I can come over here, line that one up where I need it. We've still got that little gap. This is our one that's already sticky. And it's helpful to start off with a straight card. Oh, it's only this big. It's only that big. Again, you can kind of tell because the ends have to be straight. If the ends are going off the edge, then you know you're crooked. And you can also use something like this as a line. Okay, got that on there. Now, do we want big chunky ones? I don't think we want thin ones, but I'm thinking this might be a little chunky. Ooh, actually, what if we put this across here? And then had the pennant come out from there. I like that. Let's see if we can get an 1/8 of an inch off of here. I forgot to check to see if anybody's had a question. All right, so I just want a tiny bit. There we go. So it's a little bit smaller than that first one. And then I'm just going to snip that off. Let's put some adhesive on, get rid of this. Oh, we need that. I think that'll be a better size. Get rid of that. So I also have over here where I can stamp or glue. So I didn't have anything else to put with it, so the glue's going to go everywhere, but that's okay. So now we'll add that, just a little tiny bit more to cut off. Good. And we've got this. So now we need to figure out how far and which side we want to do this, and if we want to maybe do it like that. I think I might just do that. Okay, so I'm going to take a couple of pieces that are just slightly different size. Okay, and since they're the same size, you can cut the pennant at the same time by putting them together. Make a little cut where your middle point is, and then I always turn mine over because I tend to go straighter than if I'm crossing over from the front side. So now our pennants are the same, and we can stack them however we like, and just kind of move them around to see what you like. I tend to like them fairly close together. And I'm kind of liking them like that. What do you think? I'm thinking that's good. So the other thing you can do is put a little adhesive on one of them to overlap on the other one. And then put a bunch of adhesive back here. And if it were me, I probably would have cut off that extra to use somewhere else, but that's okay. All right. Put that down. You can raise this up. Now, here's another trick I wanted to tell you about raising stuff up. Let's say you really want to raise it up, but you ran out of foam tape, because if you're like me, it happens a lot. So go and get yourself some white paper. Make sure that it's not too big. And just cut yourself down some pieces. Okay, and I typically make them the same size. So let me get another little piece. Heaven knows we always have scratch paper, right? So then you just have to put on as many pieces as high as you want to go, right? Okay, so let's show you what I do there. And I would probably maybe put 2 like that. So I'm just going to put some adhesive down and start my stacks. And if they go a little over, you have a little bigger room time. There we go. And then we just keep going until we get them where we want them. Those are a little big. And cut them down a little more. It's just scratch paper, right? It's just the extra bits. Usually I take a little bit better time and I don't have to cut them twice. But you get the idea. You just keep going until you get them the length that you want, or the height that you want, that's what I should say. And the other thing you can do is you can reverse it and go the other way, just to make sure you're getting stuff down good. Okay, now we've got our thickness pretty good, and we can just glue that down to where we want. And now we've got some lift to there. And maybe we need some pieces of, let me find my hole punch. I'll show you how to do that. That's teeny. Okay, where did my regular? Are you like me and it's right in front of your face, but you can't see it? Heaven to Betsy, where'd it go? It's scissors. Yes, I know. I hear me rooting around through my tools. Okay, let me go around the table, because maybe it's on my table. I wouldn't doubt it. Oh, here it is. Clear back around where I couldn't see. It's not my fault. Okay. So here we go. Standard 1/4 inch hole punch. And this has the little cover on this side. I just took it off. And I go down and I put my finger over that hole so it kind of catches it. And you just punch out some circles like so. And maybe you want a few of these. This is the smaller one, the 1/8 inch, which you can get a lot of these. So you can mix and match if you want. Okay, so we got some circles. Pickup tool is always good. And again, I am just gonna see where I want them. Maybe I want them up here. Let's see if I like the little ones. I don't know where the other one went. It's around here somewhere. Heaven knows. I'll find it. Probably attached to me or stuck to something. I don't know where it went. I don't see it. Get all this scraps out of the way. Okay. So now it's just, and do you ever kind of don't know where to put your dots? I mean, I always tell you a triangle is good, but let's say that you just were having fits about where to put these, okay? And I don't think I like the two sizes together, one or the other. Okay, and we do something like that. Ooh, although that's kind of nice in the middle of that snowflake. And does this one have any snowflakes? Yes, we will be using some snowflakes. So let's get those out. We've got this one we can use. And where's the other one? Well, this is the same size, so that one. Okay, and look, I still got bits, although I still have cards, but yeah, whatever. So this little one might be nice in there. There's the other little one. Or I think that's too big, although that's not bad. What do you think? So we could put that one in there. Oh, I'm all thumbs today. Cannot do anything. Okay. So I think that would be kind of cute there. Put that there. And then what I was saying was, you know, you can't figure out maybe where to put them. And this actually counts as 3 because you got 1, 2, and you got 3. But I think a couple maybe under here would be good. And I'm also trying to, we've got a lot of concentration here, so I was trying to put them, you know, over here. So that way they're spread throughout the card. But what I was going to tell you is if you can't decide, leave it like that. You know, we're just dry fitting it. Take a picture and then look at the picture. And it, I don't know why, but it automatically is like, oh, this needs to go over here. You know, or, oh, I don't like that. Or, oh, that does look good. So we can also put that one there. And maybe put, if I can get this to turn over, this one onto here. I don't have any adhesive, that's why I'm struggling so much. So that's kind of cool, and maybe we don't need those. There, I kind of like that. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to go to our handy dandy. We can pick this up and put it on a dot. And yes, I know it's big, but that's okay. And then we'll put, I'm all thumbs today. I'm so glad it's Friday. So we'll put that on there. We'll put this on a glue dot. And then we'll put this one on a glue dot. Now, this is where, oh, that took that up right away. This is where be careful when you're peeling them off that you don't pop anything. And I like to put a couple on the bigger one. Sometimes I twist it and that works. So that one's there. And we'll get our pokey tool. And, oh, there's the extra one. And we'll just lift that off. Kind of helps because it's not in your finger and you're not going over the top. So it really kind of helps you to place these when you don't have to try and go around your fingers. Now this one, I don't know if you can see this, but this one is way outside, so I'm just going to kind of gather it up and shove it underneath, okay? It's the easiest way I can tell you. Gather and shove. And we just put that one on there. There's another one. There we go. So standard and take it up a notch. What do you think? So remember, it's just a starting off point. I still have a couple more to do, so I'll try to don't like that. I'll try to get those done as a bonus. So let's lay these out so you can see them again. Take a picture if you want. So, standard way. And my changes. All right. So, which is your favorite out of all these cards? We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, can you see all of those? Let me get stuff out of the way so you can take a picture if you want. Okay. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Which is your favorite? I hope that you have a glorious weekend and that you're safe and that you can get some crafting in. Until next week, we'll see you next Friday. Bye.